Hello mates! Welcome to Budget Gaming. I'm your host Finley. Nintendo had their first full direct after the Switch 2 release. With that came a lot of really cool looking games. But we also got a lot of game keycard announcements. Like, way too many honestly. And, of course, none of the developers advertised their game being a game keycard on the Direct, which makes it pretty clear that they know it's unpopular. Remember, for every game on this list, if you have to buy it on the Switch 2 because you don't have any other systems, buy the game used. Don't buy it digitally because that will encourage developers to release digital only. Buying it used or not buying at all will force them to start putting the game on cartridges. Every game on this list is in order by release date. First up, we have Madden 26, releasing August 14th. I already talked about this in another video, so there isn't much to say other than it's a game keycard and you can buy it on literally any other system that'll run it much better. And while it doesn't look awful here, the trailers from the PS5 and Series X looked so much better. Do keep in mind this is the first trailer we've seen of the game for the Switch 2, and only 2 weeks before release. That might be a bad sign. If you have to play this game and only have a Switch 2, buy it used. Another game I already talked about in my last keycard video is Star Wars Outlaws, releasing September 4th. This game has dropped as low as $35 digitally and $20 physically. Absolutely no way should someone be spending $60 for a version that'll be far worse. Please buy it used at a very steep discount if you can't play it on other systems. Alright, here are some games I haven't talked about yet. First up is Pac-Man World 2 Repack, releasing on September 26th. This game looks pretty awesome, which is exactly why I'll be playing it on my PS5. It does have an original Switch version on cartridge, but it is unclear if it will have a downloadable Switch 2 upgrade. At $30, this is a no-brainer for platformer lovers. And even if it turns out just okay, it has co-op gameplay, which can make even mediocre games pretty awesome. This is coming out for every modern system, so if you can, get it on one of those instead. If all you have is a Switch 2, you can at least get the Switch version and play that on your Switch 2. If you really want the Switch 2 version, you can buy it used. On the same day, we have EA Sports FC 26, releasing on September 26. What a shock. Another EA game. Just when you think it can't get any worse, they decide to release a Switch 1 version as a download code in a box. EA games, you get two middle talents for being such greedy pieces of shit. And honestly, it might just be me, but I have a hard time seeing sports games like this selling well on the Switch 2. Not only because of the bullshit they're trying to pull with these game keycards and download codes. I genuinely don't see people having much interest in these games on the Switch 2, but I feel like fans of these games accepted that Nintendo isn't a reliable place to get these games since they rarely release for Nintendo systems. Anyway, this game will release on all the other systems and will run better and look better on those systems. If all you have is a Switch 2, wait a little bit and buy it used. If all you have is an original Switch, just avoid it. Not only because it's a download code in a box, but I can guarantee you the game will look and play like shit on the Switch. I'd avoid at all cost. We already talked about this one in a previous video, which I will have linked down below, but on September 30th we have Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Luckily, this game will be on cart for the original Switch, and there will be a free Switch 2 upgrade for the original Switch game, so you at least have that option. Or you could just skip the bullshit and get it on the PS5, which is what I'll be doing. On October 4th, we have Borderlands 4. Yeah, not really surprised to see 2K joining in on the keycard action. All the publishers with shitty reputations are doing it, so why wouldn't they join the fun? While mouse support might be cool, there are reports that the game will run at 30 frames per second and has seen some drops during heavy combat. Obviously not from my experience, but that's what some reports are saying. If that isn't fixed, frame rate drops during mouse mode would be awful. So there is a chance that mouse mode, which should be a selling point, might actually be a negative. Anyway, this is another game that can be bought on every other system where it will run and look much better. Buy it there instead, or buy it used on the Switch 2. But if the frame drops are consistent, I'd say skip it entirely. On October 23rd, we have Persona 3 Reloaded, releasing for $60. Or you could save yourself $35 and buy it on PC, Series X, or PS5. It's almost always on sale for $25 for all the systems I just mentioned. And the game looks fantastic on all of those systems. If the Switch 2 is the only way you can play this game and you really want to play it, don't buy it digitally, buy it used. Sega doesn't need to see any money from this Switch 2 release. On November 14th, we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, another game that is already released for every other system, so there isn't any reason to get this unless the Switch 2 is your only system. It's been as cheap as $20 physically and $48 digitally for other platforms. Luckily, there will be a Switch version that is on cartridge, and there will be an upgrade pack to the Switch 2 version. Oddly enough, you can't play online together if one person is on the original Switch version and the other is on the Switch 2 version. Seems a bit weird if you're going to offer an upgrade but not cross-platform play. Games are doing this on consoles across different companies. I don't see how hard it could be doing it across two consoles from the same company. Either way, if you need to play this game on your Switch 2, you at least have the option of buying it on the original Switch and getting the Switch 2 upgrade. But if you have other systems to play this on, you can save a lot of money and just get it there instead. Lastly, we have Octopath Traveler 0, releasing on December 4th. This game looks beautiful. Haven't got around to playing this series yet, but I do have them on the original Switch. Like every other game I mentioned on this list, this will be releasing on every console, including the original Switch. But here's the funny thing. They aren't doing an upgrade because they claim it isn't possible. So it's not possible to offer an upgrade for Octopath, but the very same company can offer an upgrade for Final Fantasy Tactics. Not only that, but lots of companies are offering upgrades. So yeah, I call bullshit on that comment. I'm going to assume they're just being lazy until they give an exact reason as to why it can't be done. And it's not like it's a game that was released for the original Switch years ago and now they're having issues offering a Switch 2 upgrade. It's a brand new game, and they've probably known about the Switch 2 the entire time they've been developing this game. Whenever I get around to playing this game, it'll be on the PS5, and I'll probably still buy it used since Square Enix are being such assholes about this. Alright now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, I'll have my other game keycard videos linked down below if you want to check them out. As negative as this video was, I'm actually excited about a decent amount of games announced from this Direct, which I will go over in another video. I just wanted to keep this strictly game keycard related. Until next time, take care mates.